In this video, I want to show and explain how to use loops and how to use the reader, and what is the difference between a reader and leashes, and where is it used. Firstly, it is used in decoding keys when there is a complete loss and we need to recover the key. For this, a very useful tool is Lishi and the Lishi Reader. There are other decoders as well, but we will talk about them next time. I, for example, use Lishi more often because I'm more accustomed to them and they are more convenient for me. But that doesn't change the fact that Lishi Reader, it's not a weaker tool and many underestimate it. I will now try to explain this and demonstrate it with an example. Let's start with Lishi.
The third one we put in the Lishi, and we need a floor lamp.
Create a little tension, but not too much.
You see, the 8 is springing. But we don't pay attention to the 8.
The 7 doesn't spring, we slightly. Let's push! Done!
Let's move on. Our 6 is also good. The 5 is also good. 4.
The 3, 2. Okay, let's start over.
That's it. We turned it. Next, we need to go through how we need to decode. Now I will explain to you. 1 second. Here we have a 2. This is a 3. You can notice it might fall, let's say, on 4, but if we press a bit, we will have a 3. Next, we have the 4. We each go in turn. Well, it's more convenient for us at the moment. The 4 is a 2. 5, 1. 6 becomes 3 for us. I want to point out. I press the spring slightly, just a little, to understand specifically what our position is, which pin we have. 7, 3. 8 is 2. I also want to note that most cars locks, just like on Dodges, on Chryslers, it can happen that in the lock there's a spring, and at this moment you need to hold it so it doesn't turn back. To some extent, that it is even inconvenient, especially if it's spun. You have to go write it down, go cut the key and so on, and asking someone to like hold it for 2 seconds, well, it's not always appropriate. My kind of life hack, I move
The handle.
And it springs. That's it. It doesn't spring further and doesn't allow turning back. It's a little life hack. Now, I want to like write down these values. I also want to show you the difference from... We can open those with credit cards, like the credit card reader. Let's say credit cards, the ones I showed, we can also use them to open doors in an emergency. It's more of a professional method opening with tools. It's not always good and it's not quite professional. A professional use picks to open things because it's kind of a clean job. And I think to explain, if you're interested in this, watch these videos. Don't. In the reader, the feature is that we can't open the doors anymore. It works on a different principle. For example, in the tools I just showed, it operates in 2 stages. For instance, we first turn it, and then we decode. In the Lishi Reader, we skip the first stage. And we immediately, like a second stage, we can immediately decode. Our second stage is a set of 3. We don't need to turn it. We can take a look.
Our fourth is right now. Didn't insert it completely. 2 becomes 3 for us. 4, we have 4 or 6,
and 3, and so on. I also want to note that in some laser readers, the last pin does not display. That is, it may not provide any values, but in reality, it could be different. This moment is shown by this reader, or rather, the regular, ordinary reader does not show this moment. This happens on the SU-24 or on the FO-38 on Fords. One nuance is that if we just rotate it and go sequentially through the pins, then in this lock, in this reader, we first go through the even ones, and then we go through the odd ones. To decode, we need to twist and go through the same way from the other side. How to decode keys. How
after what to do with these values, how decode the key and so on.
In this video, I also have the same on my channel, so check it out. You'll definitely find it. I think I was able to briefly convey the idea and difference of these 2 tools, their strengths, their weaknesses. The readers are perfectly suited for beginners who have difficulty turning. There are also cases where some pin worn out locks or other factors prevent us from turning it.
And
only a reader is our perfect solution to compensate at this moment. Another one, just like as though said that I quite often use Lishi, but I also want to add that there are such worn locks, so worn out, and with sand and dirt and so on, that Lishi does not give an exact result. And these 2 tools, Lishi and Lishi Readers, I just combine and decode the code. I have I decode this in 2 to 3 minutes maximum. So depending, of course, on the lock. Well, basically. About this tool, I hope I managed to explain the complex in simple terms. It is a very necessary and useful tool. So if you are in this industry, do not ignore these tools. They will greatly simplify your task. How to decode keys after we get the value. I also have a video on my channel, and there I more or less explain which service I use and how to use it to get a more accurate lock code and the correct key.
That's all. Thank you all for your attention. See you soon.
The second step, if after we have rewritten our numbers that we obtained using the Lishi Reader, is to check if we decoded correctly. Either there is an error somewhere, and how many options there might be, since on the keys we don't have the first one. In this case, the tool we need will be, extremely necessary. At the moment, we have these values. Okay. Here we have the code. The camera probably isn't showing it well.
And we can see these snippets.
Let's suppose we didn't have any Lishi, we had a reader and the ith value, eth.
Number
We're good in wheeling. It gets stay, doesn't decode. Fiind BTA equation mark.
And we get 2 codes.
And if one doesn't fit, we cut the second. That's all.
The logic here is very simple. To learn how to use this, to watch another video, I have it on my channel. Yes, thank you all for watching.